Release on life for a California woman who was convicted as a teenager for killing the man who forced her into prostitution.
Governor Newsom granted a pardon to Sara Kruzan, who is now 44 years old. CBS 8's Richard Allen has more on the fight for her and the fight of other young victims of human traffickers.
Well, that's right. This case has stirred the debate over the way courts often treat survivors of abuse, especially when they're teens.
I definitely know I deserve punishment. I mean, you don't just take somebody's life and think that it's okay.
This is Sara Kruzan speaking from prison in 2009, 15 years after she fatally shot George Howard, a family friend who she says had begun abusing her when she was 11 years old and began to sexually traffic her when she was 13.
I found the ability to believe in myself. I have a lot of good to offer.
Kruzan, who lived for a while with family in San Diego, was 16 years old when she killed her pimp in a motel room in Riverside, and 17 when she was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. She went on to serve 18 years behind bars before Governor Newsom's predecessor, Jerry Brown, agreed to her early release.
She's a victim. She was trafficked. She was tortured. And then she was a minor when all this started.
Marissa Ugarte is executive director of the Bilateral Safety Corridor Coalition, a San Diego-based nonprofit dedicated to combating human trafficking and helping its victims. She was part of a coalition of reform groups which fought for Kruzan's release.
It was just unbelievable that they would put her in prison for something like this when she tried to save herself from a predator, from a pimp.
Ugarte was elated when she heard that nearly a decade after her release, Kruzan, who now works as an advocate for parolees, has been pardoned by Governor Newsom. Ugarte also points out that in the nearly 3 decades since Kruzan first went to prison, the problem of sex trafficking continues.
It has gotten worse.
In fact, San Diego ranks 13th in the country for human sex trafficking, with up to 8,000 victims every year.
Parents, you should be concerned. You need to be aware. You need to ask the right questions. You need to be there for the children.
And for local resources on combating human trafficking, just go to cbs8.com and click on the help button.